When last we left our heroes,
Just a lot of fussing over people's furniture.
That's yeah. I mean, we kind of agreed. Yeah, we went off on a little. We decided to go south towards
correct?
Benegard,
Yes.
and we were off and we were running, but it was all very, very slow because the humans would not leave. They didn't want to leave their furniture, mainly their furniture, behind. And I think it was like it was an heirloom. They wanted to keep some of this stuff. O'Driscoll kind of gets it now, but Vanasaur got a little bit fed up with it and tried a little bit of intimidation. But Levelis had a good idea about when she talked to him about the memories of the furniture. But it kind of didn't work. In the end, Co's like, "Look, I'm just gonna carry some of this stuff for you. I've had enough of it." And some of them they took off like the silver handles and stuff like that, and did leave some stuff behind. So anyway, it meant that we did start to make better progress through the Forest of Doom. But I believe Levelis and Zoga headed up front to have a little look and see what's going on. And I don't know what exactly. Well, we found out a little bit later that I think Levelis took a little bit of a tumble while she was trying to do a bit of stealthing.
Yeah.
And banged her head and let out a bit of a scream, which drew the attention of I can't remember the name of the big giant with two heads. What was it?
It's an ettin.
Ettin.
Ettin, thank you. Drew the attention of an ettin, which was coming our way. And so we did something which was new to me in D&D, and maybe it's like, I think if I'm right, it's more of a 4E thing, something that happens in 5E. But we did skill challenges, and I think we had to get six successful. Put your teeth back in. Meant that we would not have to fight the end, and then I think another one less when we might have had to fight it, but the humans would have escaped, and if we'd really failed, we'd have had to fight it amongst all the humans. I think is what the outcome was. But we all rolled really well during our successes.
Yeah.
I think Colville even gave us 2 for some of our ones because we rolled so high, and it meant the humans all got out the way nice and quick, and the ettin kind of rolled on by. Only who speaks giant? I think Co and Zoga could understand what the ettin was saying. I realised I'm the only one that can't communicate with someone else in another language.
And yet you did it the whole second session with Lady Evelina.
Oh yeah, that's true. But not in our party. I'm a little left out. Anyway,
you do speak a second language, yeah.
Yeah,
You're not anybody in the party.
No one else speaks Draconic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we kind of realised that even though Ko is whatever he is, 7-foot giant, he's actually a pretty stealthy guy. So we sent him on ahead with Mrs. Head Bump this time, and they went off. And they
judged.
They found a clearing, and there was a body, but before we could get to examine the body, we're attacked by a jelly, which we kind of dispatched fairly easily. I think it wasn't too much of a difficult combat. I probably shouldn't say that to our dungeon master. He's going to stitch us up, but there you go. I've said it now. It's too late. And we turned the body over, and it looked exactly like I've forgotten her, Paulie Gwir, I think.
You got it exactly right, Gwir Paulie.
And Gwir Paulie, yeah. So looked exactly like her, but Gwir Paulie's alive in the party of humans. So we're kind of like, well, this isn't right. And we went back. Oh, sorry, I missed a bit. There was some arrows in Gwir that I think, if we remember rightly, the fellas could tell that they were made of. What was it? The fellas remind me.
So they were made of wood, but it's not a wood that exists in the world as we know it. So it's like pure black. It's a little bit stronger. Yeah, and it was not of this world.
Not of this world.
But it was Elven make. So we suspect perhaps drow involvement.
Drow, sir. Anyway, so yeah, so that bit happened. We kind of went back towards the party. Vanasaur did a bit of sniffing on a live Gwir, smelt like Gwir. Did a bit of sniffing on dead Gwir, smelt like a dead Gwir, so that didn't really help. And then we had the idea of maybe if we talk to Anne, Gwir's daughter, about something that Gwir might only know, we could like get some information, and then we could talk to Gwir, and then maybe find out if she's an imposter or something like that. So we kind of because she's feels most comfortable with Co, kind of talked about giving us a present for her birthday or something for her birthday. So we found out the date, and we talked to Gwir, and then asking like, oh, when Anne's birthday comes up, we want to talk, give us something for her
that's
birthday.
right.
And she said something along the lines of, oh, it's fine, you don't need to do that. Like a, no, it's too much trouble kind of thing. And I believe that's where we cut off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You do a great job of
That was
recapping
very
stuff.
thorough.
Thank you, sir.
So, Gwir Polly says that it's incredibly sweet of you and that you don't have to do that. And if you say, but I really want to, then she'll say, oh, okay, well, and she looks around to make sure that her daughter isn't overhearing your plan. And she tells you when Anne was born. And that gives you the same answer that Anne gave you. And she's like, but on this year, that's harvest day. And so we're going to be doing her birthday the day before. So if you wanted to, once we get to Bedegar Keep, if you want to come, you'd certainly be welcome at our house. We would love to have you. We won't, don't say anything to Anne though. It'll be a surprise.
Ko stands there for a moment, kind of processes everything, and then probably asks like, what's Harvest Day or something like that.
Yeah. What's Harvest Day? You don't know about Harvest Day? My goodness. Don't you folk eat? Look, how did you get so big without, sausages and grains? And she wouldn't say sausages because you don't harvest those, but
I mean,
yeah,
It's a kind of
Ko would
harvesting.
tell
this is
her
a fantasy world.
Sausages.
the sausage plant. I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta plant the sausage seeds. Blimey.
Sausage crop.
Ko promises to later tell her how he eats 12,000 calories a day while adventuring, and then
12,000
kind of
calories.
diffuses. Yeah,
That's a
I
lot.
think that's how many the guy who plays the mountain eats. So.
That's a lot of fruit and nuts.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
wonder if
gosh.
that's like helps his diet.
He's just always got a spoon of peanut butter that when you see him in battle.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
When he's kind of satisfied with her answer and thinks it probably wouldn't be awkward to leave, though he's still a barrow man, so probably just walks away mid-sentence or something. He kind of goes back, and I don't know who's all around me at this point, but kind of gives them a it seems okay look.
Should we have Oh, Odie, you already sniffed her, right?
Oh, we're talking about a game? Oh,
Jesus.
Yes.
It must be worth
You fucking people.
Uh,
Sorry, man. I just had a...
yes. I sniffed both the alive
You already
and
sniffed her,
dead
right?
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm starting to think more and more that they're just both Guiapoli. Like,
What?
just think that
The
she's
timey-wimey
both
thing.
of them.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but I don't
inclined to
think.
agree.
Yeah, until she does anything fucking weird, I guess we can just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we
You
can
wanna
keep
keep an
watching
eye
her,
on her,
but
though?
like, yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, strange things happen in the forest.
strange things do happen in the forest.
Stranger things happen at sea.
It's probably best that we
Yeah.
keep moving anyway.
This place
Like,
is
let's keep an
thick
eye on her,
with
but
magic.
let's,
thick with two C's.
Hang on a minute. I gotta make a
positively
note.
double cheeked up with magic.
Yeah, I think like if it is like a time thing, let's just maybe keep an eye on her, because if that's future Gwir, she's
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, wow. Well, I can't remember, but when we were looking at the body of Gwir, did she look freshly dead? Can't remember.
she didn't look super freshly dead, but she also can't have been dead for that long because, like, she was
Okay,
recognizable and her face wasn't eaten off by the ochre jelly.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because she appeared to have died from getting shot to death with with the arrow.
She did. I'm still stuck on this lack of footprints. Like, there's no tracks, not even hers.
Maybe
Like she
maybe
just
it's another
appeared in a
time.
time bubble.
You
Yeah, I
mean
don't know.
Maybe it's like they reversed, so they walked backwards and then their tracks got.
No, but
Taken
there
out.
weren't
Any
any tracks. There were none. Like,
She got loopered.
Yeah.
she got looped. So
Bullshit.
we don't know what it is. It could be time travel. It could be something else. But whatever it is, I think that they're both real. I think that they were both her.
I'm willing to believe that. That sounds fantastical. Which that's what. we're doing.
Vanasaur is definitely a bit suspect, and I think if we're going to move on, might keep an eye on a live Guerpoli. Did anyone pick up one of the arrows? I know I snapped one, but have we got?
Yeah, I think we grabbed a couple and
Okay, all right, we've got them. Yeah.
All right, so you folks, having satisfied yourselves that Guerpoli is not a doppelganger or a temporal reflection from the past or future, you continue herding these people. You're now shepherds of men. You're herding these people down south through the forest. You're not making
hurting them.
you're not making great time, but you're making a lot better time than you were when they had fucking carts. They still have their hang on a minute. They still have their oxen and horses. You guys find a clear as the sun begins to set. You find a suitable clearing that actually has this like what's called a fairy ring, which is just a bunch of mushrooms that grow in a radius, perfectly natural phenomenon. And you're like, this is a good place to stop.
Are we all like that?
Yeah, of course. Fairy rings are a real thing in the real world that are perfectly mundane.
They sure are. But since we are playing in the Black Forest where everything so far has tried to murder us,
yeah,
I just want to be sure.
So you know how when you watched Scooby-Doo when you were a kid, except you probably didn't watch Scooby-Doo when you were a kid because you're not old. Like you could always tell where the secret door was because the secret door was on a different cell than the rest of the background, right? So the fairy ring is not on its own cell. It's part of the background. That's how you know it's not a monster.
I will accept this information. Thank you.
All right.
Right. That's the most like in genre way to meta game I can think of.
Okay, great.
Right. Like you can tell it's safe because it's not on its own cell in the background. Anyway, blah, blah. You guys have the map and here's the fairy ring and you guys are going to make camp with the humans as darkness falls. In fact, let me see.
Word. Well,
Yep, them.
we should probably set up. We should probably set up watches.
Oh, yes.
Good idea.
How do we? I think there's like an order on the party sheet. I don't know if that's how we want to do it, or we just talk it out. Fuck this tab.
So yeah, the party sheet has a thing, but I think I have to drag your characters onto it, and maybe I've got to do it from the combat tracker. I don't remember how it works. Oh no, I can do it. Here we go. So yeah, if you guys, so there's a couple of things. There's marching order and watch order, which is really cool. Marching order is mostly for dungeon crawling, right? But you guys can set up your watch, I think yourselves by typing into the numbers. And usually a watch is, depending on how many players there are, you divide up the evening into a certain number of hours. You know, you need 8 hours rest. So that means if you have a 2-hour watch, that's 10 hours total, right?
Right.
So how you split up those 10 hours is up to you folks.
Say that one more time. Say the math one more time.
So you're the exception, Oren, because you're an elf. But all these other wankers, they need 8 hours of sleep. So if they take
6 hour extended rest, that's what it says on my thing.
yeah,
Because on my Eldrin Rachel deal, it says you need to spend 4 hours in this state, a trance, to gain the same benefits other races gain from taking a 6-hour extended rest.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't think it's that way in other. You silly cat. So I guess it's 6 hours then. All right. So if it's 6 hours for extended rest, then if you need 6 hours and you take a 2-hour watch, that's 8 hours that you're going to be here at camp. And then it's just a question is where do you put those 2 hours, right? Like I'll sleep for 3 hours. I'll take watch for 2 hours, and then I'll sleep for 3 hours.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, I've got heckin' perception out the wazoo. So I'll happily take a watch.
Yeah, same here.
I do not
I'll
see
just
a
be there for
campfire
the
token.
entire-
That annoys me. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've looked for a campfire token, and I did not have one.
It's the Angel of Fire.
This shouldn't be hard. Here we go. Oh, no, that's not what I want. This is cool. This will do. So here's my question for you folks. What do you all eat?
Oh.
Like, OD, you probably eat human food because your culture is human.
Uh-huh. That's good, because I'm with a lot of humans.
But
eat their
what
food.
does Zoga eat? What does Ko eat? What do
All
Levelis
have-
and Oren eat?
Gull have kind of a meat-heavy diet.
Mm.
Like they're doing a lot of like raiding
Constipation,
for
mental
sheep
retard. Wait,
and things.
sorry.
And so he would have a little like section of his pouch that just had like some little wrapped up like cured meats and dried meats and treats, and like a crust of bread, a little bit of
A jug
this
of
and that.
wine and thou.
Yeah, I might have a little bit of wine on me. Of the mead.
I'll take first watch, and I'm just gonna like be posted up by the campfire, just kind of chilling out, keeping an eye peeled.
That campfire just moved. Attack.
I think.
It's a mimic. It's a mimic.
Oh no, kill it.
Don't give me ideas.
I think for Levelis, like I think probably as a wood elf thing, the key is like minimal processing or interference, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So like a loaf of bread and mutton is like the antithesis because it's wheat grown in squares, deliberately harvested at a time, ground, like
Well,
the
it's
whole
also-
process of making bread.
Wheat is
And
something that
the
humans
mutton is like,
plant into the ground.
yeah.
Like they violate the earth.
Yes. And then mutton is like, we took an animal and we like made it as helpless as possible, and now we put it in fences and we grow it to eat it. So I think it's like the opposite of that. It's like hunter forager. So like I think they would eat meat, but it's like you go out and you kill the deer and then you cook it on a fire and you eat it. Or you know,
the
you go
hunt,
and you
the
find
hunt is a
bird
big
eggs.
part of wood elf culture, right? But you,
Oh,
you
1,000,000%.
don't do what humans do, which is like have pens
No.
in which you breed and raise pigs just for the point.
Yeah,
purpose of
exactly. And not
extracting
even
their-
the blood sport capacity that humans have, where it's like, oh well, we have trained, dogs who do
Right,
the hunt for us. It's less like that. It's like I've got Dernwin as one of my people that I invoke, who was like a leader of the hunt, and it's like pure skill. It's like you with a very simple weapon like a bow versus an animal with all of its skill, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's very like foragey. Find what you can and cook it on a fire.
And like, what is
Where's
an elven? Where's Gwir Polly? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Oh yeah. Oh, we have to make sure that someone's watching Greer
Unfortunately,
as well
I'm
during the
gonna
night.
go right next to her.
hang on
Good
one second.
idea.
Encounters the 5 families. Gwir Polly is this woman.
Oops. Oh no! Why is Savannah saw sideways? What?
I don't know.
Come back, Quiverly.
Oh, you
I
gotta
didn't do that, did I?
shift, mouse over your dude, and then shift and scroll wheel.
Ugh.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, come back, Queer. Stop running around. What?
Which was the right position.
I could just do this all night.
Stop it.
Anyway, where's Zoga going? Is Zoga on patrol? That's cool.
You know, just cruising.
Dude.
Maybe I'll stop for a second.
Take
a crude pipe out of my bag and have a couple little puffs, and then.
Zoga, what is a That's cool. Do you guys you have tobacco pipes? Is that something you folks grow? Or do you have to trade for it? Do you think?
We totally trade for it.
That's cool. Do you,
In fact,
do you
this
trade or
might
do you,
be something.
do you trade or do you raid for it?
This is probably something that Zoga picked up in Dalrath Keep, actually.
That's cool.
I don't imagine that like they would, you know, like they're not going to grow it themselves, certainly.
Right.
So yeah, I think it would probably be a rare treat among the goal if they like raid a farm that has some tobacco or herbs,
some
like that.
Some backy. So is tobacco, is it like a rare treat for you? You're like, oh well, I'm here in this town. I might as well buy what we normally raid for. Hello?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
May have been some light finger action as well, you know.
Wait, are you saying you stole this while you were in Dalrath Keep? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't steal it. I just
wasn't
found it.
nailed down.
Yeah.
He lifted it. That's what he's saying.
Get it lifted.
Get it lifted.
So that's cool. So you've got some imported tobacco from Dalrath. And so you're puffing away in a pipe, and some of the other townsfolk have a pipe. Is there something that is a gold delicacy that you might have, like for dessert?
Oh, that's a good one. I think there might be some kind of like special, like maybe I've got like a little like a potted little sealed jar of like sheep's brains.
Whoa, like pickled sheep's brains, or like candied sheep's brains? Or
Like
just raw sheep,
you know,
sheep head meat.
almost like it's
Eating
like
anymore.
been cooked. It's been cooked down with like a little bit of like blood and like butter and like a few little herbs
Wow,
and things in there.
That's intense.
And it's like this little like a little pate almost.
That's amazing. That's fucking cool. What's that called?
Head cheese.
You got to come up with a name for that. What's the goal name for this sheep's brain delicacy? You don't have to come up with it right now, but that's cool.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll that one around.
Levelis, what is a wood elf? Actually, I'm gonna start with Oren. Oren, what is a high elf? What do high elves eat? Is your diet different than Levelis's?
Oh, definitely.
Barte instead of pate. Barte.
Bate.
Sorry.
Wow.
You should be sorry. Get out.
Okay, bye.
I'm trying to think for high elves, because I feel like high elves they just are so kind of alien to just even like very mundane stuff, such as like eating, I would think. I feel like, especially since they have things like trance or whatever, that for them they probably gain sustenance from like some hippie shit, like energy.
Like what?
Like energy, like around. Just like they just detect energy of like everything in the world, and so when they're in areas that are like vibrant and stuff like that, that is enough to sustain them.
That's cool. So you don't
the
think
sun and like the moon and stuff like that.
That's cool. So you're like you photosynthesize. No, I'm kidding. So you don't actually have like food. You don't pack food, right? How does a high elf then, like, can a high elf starve to death?
I think if they're underground too long without
That's
like,
cool.
like energy sources and stuff like that, right? Because like especially like
That's cool. The
but
sun
again,
gives you
like, if
nourishment.
think about, like, well, it's not even just the sun.
Well, it could be this. It could be the moon or the stars.
It can be
Right.
yeah, and even in caves and stuff, like there's like fungi and there's bats
Right.
and there's like creatures and things like
So
that.
it's
Like,
light.
the cave is a living
It's
place.
light. It's light in different forms.
I wouldn't even say it's light.
The
because
present is like
it's just
go ahead.
the presence of the presence of like nature, living things, things that you would imagine would have like energy.
Life
going through it.
force.
Yeah, like it's Jedi shit or something. Midichlorians. But but I would think like if they went to some place like the Underdark, that they would very quickly begin to like waste away.
But like a cloudy night where there's no moon, there's no stars, you would still be fine because you're surrounded by the life force of the world around you.
Yeah, and there's also like the charge of electricity with like lightning and thunder and things like that. And
This is so high elfy. I love it so much.
Well, it
It's
shows
just,
that
very,
like
esoteric kind of things.
it
right?
shows that like the high elves and the wood elves are like they're different species. They're not related. They're separate creations. Right? Because Levelis has to eat.
Yeah.
Eat and
I think
sleep.
that's a good word for it. Somebody
And I can't teleport.
is that like a real word that's used in other stuff? Quintessence?
Quintessence, yeah, it's Greek. It means the fifth element. Fire, earth, air. The Greeks believed that everything was made up of earth, air, fire, and water, and then a fifth element that was like basically soul. Right? It was the life force.
That's actually a good point too, because it's just like oh shoot. I literally had something where I was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. But now I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Well, I think describing it as like quintessence, right? You're the presence of the natural world around you, right? So it doesn't really matter what the weather's like, what the sky is like, but going into a cave is fine, but going into another plane, depending on like the Underdark, it's be very different. That's like for your people, that would be a hostile environment. One of the things I want to do with elves in Orden is I want to give high elves glamour, because I think high elves should look as alien as Levelis does, but alien in a different way, right? But they have glamour, which means that whatever species you are, you see them as being a beautiful version of your species, right? Whereas the wood elves have this like, they have that same thing, but they use it for natural camouflage. So when they're in the woods, they kind of quote unquote blend in.
Oh, yeah.
So what do high elves have like a notion of mealtime, or is it just, you have to meditate to recharge your batteries and then you're good?
I think it's just passively happening all the time.
Got it.
And then sometimes there's probably like little jolts, like whenever, like.
So that's
just kind of like.
That makes this experience of all these people getting together and cooking, because that's what these people are doing right now. They've made a fire and they're cooking. They have a lot of, not only do they have a lot of food, these are people that live not in the city. They live out on the farm. Some of these people are used to, gathering. They still have hunter-gatherer traditions in their culture. So they can get herbs from the plants around here, and they can get nuts and stuff. They're able to.
In which case, this is probably like the first time that Levelis is like connecting with them on an interracial level.
Interspecial
Does
level.
that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, because Levelis probably knows a lot about like how to survive out here and how to make things taste good. But from Oren's point of view, this would be a very alien experience, because not only does your species not need to sleep, right? Which, like, from your point of view, it would look like these people are going to some kind of like fucking like hibernation state, right? Like, it would be really weird. They also have to ingest food. And that would be incredibly weird for a high elf if they had never been among the humans before. And later on, they're going to poop it out.
It's like an animal, right?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like,
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. This experience really fucking shines a spotlight on the fact that from the elves' point of view, especially you, the high elf, humans are animals in a way that elves and dwarves are not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they eat and they poo the way fucking, deer do, the way bears do. In fact, they're a lot like bears. They're like upright shaved bears walking around. Bears hibernate, right? Humans do every night. Humans go and they pass out. They like die every night and then they wake up again. Anyway, sorry. I just talked for a long time.
Yeah, all their vitals slow down and like they could just be attacked at any moment.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, like it's Yet again, this is another thing that reinforces the injustice of this age of the world where humans are fucking everywhere and taking over. And the elves, their whole, I mean, once this entire planet was woed. And it's like, how do they do it? I don't understand. Like, they're so feeble. They're so easy to catch unawares. They're so unaware of their environment. They're so dependent on, you know, material resources. Very un-elf-like.
I wanted to bring a chest of drawers with them.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably some elven equivalent there of like heirlooms and things that have, you know, personal value. But, you know, watching these people unable to reconcile the fact that they're trying to get their lives are at stake and they're hyper focused on these material goods is probably the alien part. It's not that they have things that matter to them. It's that they have this crazy cognitive
They'll
dissonance.
hold on to it even at the risk of their own life, right?
Well, I mean, that's
like,
what I was talking to OD about yesterday. I was like, we've all had that experience of watching people on the news saying, hey, there's a fucking hurricane coming, get out. And there's always some person that's like, no, I'm staying here. I've lived here my whole life. And we view those people as crazy, right? That's how you see probably a lot of these humans. Lavellis, what is an elven, since unlike Orin, you eat, what is a wood elf delicacy that you might have for dessert?
For dessert?
Yeah.
Dessert. Okay, well, it's got to be berry-based, surely.
Maybe it could be honey. Natural, comes from bees.
Oh, friggin' honey? Ooh, some honey and some mulberries. That's a really good idea. Maybe some maybe, you know, you could throw in some mint leaves in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Some
Yeah.
wild mint.
Spice it up.
Yeah.
Not literally
Get
spice
some
it up,
get
but,
some
you know.
herbs going.
Herb it up.
Yeah, something along those lines, I would say.
That's cool.
Honey is a great idea.
Yeah, well, because it's humans love honey too. So that's another thing you folks have in common is a lot of their food for sugar, they use honey. But unlike you, they keep bees.
Yeah.
Right.
Put them in little boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. The weird thing is the weird thing is the bees seem to like it. Bees seem to like being kept.
Afraid of
by
bees.
humans.
Stockholm syndrome.
Maybe.
You know what else? This is just because as well.
Everybody make a perception check.
Oh no. I am the type of person I'm that snob who loves like floral flavors. So I also would expect to be including some
Please
like
make your
flower
perception
petals
check
in the dessert.
Sorry. Please make your
whoops.
perception check in the tower, Zoga. Lavellis.
Do we need to?
Everybody.
Yeah.
What if I
Do
keep
it,
mine
do it.
instead?
Let us keep hers.
No.
Yeah.
If you fail, it doesn't count unless it's in the tower.
I wonder if I can grab it. Hang on. Can I do that?
If I'd rolled a 1, would I have kept it?
Fudge. Okay. Continue. What were we saying, Lavellis?
I was just saying that I would also throw in like floral flavors, like maybe if I found some lavender, or just I love a little bit of flower in my desserts, as in actual flowers.
As in actual flowers. Yeah. What was what about?
Just chucking in that perception check.
It's dark. You guys have been. It's getting dark. You guys have been making food and eating for the first time with these people and mingling with them, and they're sharing their food with you to the extent that you're interested. Everybody notices that Orin kind of wants to be off by herself, right? She doesn't eat, and she seems to be kind of like she's hard to read. Is she being disdainful of their habit, or is she just kind of perplexed by it?
Well, I don't think I would be aloof in this situation because like the way I see it is like there is like a lot of happy energy.
Sure, yeah.
Happening here,
Yeah.
right? So it's like this is kind of like this is probably one of the most what's the word for it?
Communal, like.
I mean like fulfilling, like the feeling of like being like not hungry anymore kind of thing or whatever. Like she doesn't feel hungry, but she
I get
definitely
it.
notices
I
like
like
a little bit like more of a boost from like all of the socializing and stuff like that.
That's cool.
I
That's
do
super
have
cool.
a question.
So hang on a second. I just want to explore this from this thing that Oren just said. So like the presence of all these people here, sharing a meal, being together, and basically like feeling safe because you folks are here, and feeling happy because they're on their way to a new life. That is a kind of nourishment for you.
Yeah, because I think it's like, it's like the positive
Cool.
vibes thing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it was different earlier when everybody was like kind of arguing about like, what to do and where to go and everything.
Oh, that's interesting. Like you
yeah, and I
responded
think
very kind of like, what's wrong with these people? While they were fighting amongst each other.
Yeah.
Because they did not agree. Some of them were like, no, this stuff's not important. And some of them were like, that's easy for you to say. Right. And now that they're, that's interesting. So you're, so you kind of like reflect the energy that is people are putting out. Or I shouldn't say you reflect it,
'cause
but
part of
it affects you. To what extent you let it
Yes.
affect you, that's up to Anna, right? But it affects Oren, whatever the vibe. That's fucking cool, Anna. That is really fucking cool. How do you react? How does Oren react when these people offer you food?
I was gonna say, like, you don't have to eat, but can you?
That's a good question.
'Cause if you can, you should definitely try some of this. The honey stuff is
The
really
honey
good.
stuff looks the most interesting out of everything here. I think like I'm trying to think of the kind of stuff, like the kind of actual like physical food.
Hang on a second. I want to message Anna. I don't want to say all this stuff out loud because I don't want to bias Anna's. I don't want Anna to be like, no, that's stupid, even though if it is stupid.
But I think if she were gonna eat stuff, it would have to be things that were maybe still had like this might sound weird, I guess.
Oh
like,
no, I get
they
it.
still had like life force.
Yeah, like what's his name in what's that Korean movie that they Spike Lee remade with the guy who was locked up forever? And he eats
Old boy.
Yeah, Old Boy, where he eats like a fucking live octopus after he gets out. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I haven't seen
Right, because he's been locked up so long, he just wants to put something living inside him.
Wrong.
Yeah, I think like in this case, it's like it's like kombucha, right? Like it's like a fermented thing that's growing, and it's like energy is being released. Things like bread dough, probably like raw dough, stuff it's got like yeast in it, right? And so it's just like actively like tearing stuff apart and everything too. Whereas eating stuff like charred meat, or even like raw meat, like that stuff is not living anymore.
Right. Yeah. That makes that I would say maybe disregard what I just said, because I was typing that before you had explained the idea of like it should be alive, right? There should be something alive in it, which these people, they
like some lavender, perhaps.
moldy cheeses.
Well,
cheese.
yeah, but these people, if these people understood that, I'm not sure how or even if you would express that. Like it might be easier for Oren just be like, no, that's okay, I'm fine. But if you actually tried to explain to these people what was going on, they would be like, that's fucking weird. But they'd be like, well, wait a minute, we have yogurt, right? They have things that have living components inside them. It's just not normal. Right, like
Yeah,
they use yeast. They use yeast when they cook, and that yeast has to be alive for it to do its thing, right? And they have, like you said, they have like blue cheese. They have stuff that they know has living stuff inside it. They probably also think that like honey has life in it, and they don't realize that it doesn't. That's just their tradition, right? They think of honey as being, it kind of almost glows in sunlight. It's special. It's different, right? And Owen would be like, that's adorable, but it actually, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you have any moldy bread? That'd be great. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, mold is definitely on the list, right? Like fungus and stuff like that, So, I mean, to Oren, that's not peculiar. It's just like,
well,
like,
also,
yay,
like,
life force and energy. Like, I'm gonna bring it into myself because that's a really direct connect.
Yeah, I think that is fucking cool, Anna. I think that is awesome, and it's super inspiring for me as a dungeon master and a storyteller. And you can imagine like a high elf walking through a forest and seeing a fruiting tree and eating a fruit, because it's like that's the purpose of this. I am honoring the tree by eating this. I'm not eating it because of taste or sustenance. I'm eating it as part of the ritual of affirming that this tree is awesome.
Yeah, and I think also another thing for high elves, because like I was thinking about the dessert question that you had, and I think for them it would be you know how sometimes in nature there are just, it's like things that have the perfect ratio, just
Yeah.
completely by happenstance. I think that kind of stuff, like if they become aware of it and they're near it, like that would just be like the thing, right? That would just be such a huge, like, I don't know. It'd be like eating the best dessert you can imagine.
And Paulie just swore.
Oh,
So
sorry.
Wow.
I forgot who I was.
Watch your mouth, Ann.
Wow.
Yeah, the people fucking love Servanazor because he's not like, for them, Servanazor is the ultimate folk hero, because not only is he legitimately a knight of the dead king, he is part of their, like, he does not have a distinct culture. The dragon knights are raised in and amongst humans, so they eat the same stuff, and he can muck on in with them, and they find it to be they want to give you the best of their stuff. And in fact, anybody you notice that anybody in these families, in the 5 families, who's cooked or made something really fucking delicious, if they just share it with their parents and children and their spouse, and they don't offer you some, they get side eye. People are like, fucking offer. That's, offer. Like, they probably don't have any pies or anything, because those obviously don't keep, but they're like, offer the knight some. You should taste your. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. They want to offer you the best stuff they have.
This is my grandmother's recipe.
Yeah, exactly.
I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take all of it from them. I'll be like, I'm eating, but I'm not like really scoffing it down. I'm kind of like, if they're bringing the best stuff, I'm like, I thank you for this. Please, you should eat as well. And I carry on telling my yarns of past glories.
I mean, they as soon as you start talking about these people would love nothing more than to hear stories of serving in Good King Omen's Dragon Phalanx, and some of them want to hear about the battle against Mandrake the Betrayer, and others like, no, we don't want to. No, tell us something good. Like, have you this one time we fought 1,000 zombies and 10,000 skeletons. Where was that exactly? And what was written? Did you notice anything interesting written on the gravestones or anything?
No, not at that time.
Yeah, they would love to hear stories of a great knight, and what they want is that kind of like chivalric King Arthur, quest for the Holy Grail, Green Knight type shit. They want to hear something mythical, and this is by no means the first time you've had this experience, so you probably have some stories in your pocket that folks love to hear. What those stories are, that's up to you. You don't have to think of something right now, but it would be cool if you're like, I know what my dude would say. Ko, did I already ask you what does a barrowman eat?
I don't believe so.
What does a barrowman eat?
So I was thinking about this. If the Thurs, is it the Thurs or the Theirs?
Fierce. Both are correct.
Fierce.
Yeah. It just means giant.
So if they're descended from giants,
Yeah.
I mean, giants have super long lifespans,
Yep.
and they give some of that to the barrowmen. So I would think that they would have some different metabolism. So I wonder if it might be weird that Ko is big. He might be eating a 2,000 calorie diet, and he's that big because his body is designed to live for like giants.
Yeah, I think you asked me this, and I said like
500 years.
Yeah, like a normal lifespan for one of the Hakan is about 500 years, which is about half the length of a stone giant.
Which is like super long for us. So maybe when he's eating like a spoonful of peanut butter, that to him is like a meal, basically. So
Like you extract more calories from food than other people do?
I would think it'd be weird if Ko poops. Like he never poops because his body is just absorbing it all.
Wow, super efficient.
I mean,
World building.
No, you're an alien. You guys are an alien
no
species.
waste.
I do like the idea that the way you're contextualizing it is, well, what do giants do? we would do some kind of like mini version of that.
Yeah. So I also think that maybe like he can eat like something that we can't, like minerals,
Yeah.
or you just straight up like if he
stones.
needed to. He could
Keep
eat
in mind that you're
stones.
not descended from just any giants. You are a branch of stone giant.
See, yeah, and like he has an innate ability to like become stone a little bit.
Yep.
So I feel like maybe copper is like a spice to him sometimes.
That's cool.
Um,
That's very
I would
dwarvish
think that-
in this setting, by the way. That's something you would have in common with the dwarves. Although probably there would
Yeah,
be
see?
a lot of differences between how your diets work exactly. But
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think he would probably, I think that they would cook. And I feel like they would have very old, simple recipes.
you know what
Kind
I'm
of like
thinking about?
if you're gonna eat.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm remembering a fantasy series that I read that had a huge impact on me, in which there wasn't really like magic, like spells, but people in this normal humans in this world could do magical things. They just didn't know it was magic. And so there would be people in every village. One of them would be called like the, I don't remember the title of this person, but they would be the stone warden, where you can cook things. They could cook things without fire. They would just like hum and sing over these rocks, and the rocks would start to heat up and glow. Right. And they would give off, would give off heat. They didn't, and they could make buildings out of stone just by shaping it. They didn't have to mine it. They didn't have to, carve it or anything. They could make stone art and stone buildings and stone tools just by like singing over the stone. And that definitely sounds like the kind of thing that the Barrowmen would be able to do.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Right.
I think he probably would be, I don't know how many visitors like they would get out in the hills.
Very few.
But I feel like-
Probably dwarves, because dwarves are hardy folk.
Yeah.
But like the environment that you live in is really harsh, and humans would not normally go up there.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like he would probably cook, and he would like maybe tasting other people's cooking. But yeah, I get the sense that maybe he has like a clay pot of like mineral paste or something in his backpack that he occasionally eats or adds to a stew pot, and that pot just has something like copper and lentils.
That's cool.
And fenugreek
Stone
in
soup.
it.
So you just have this like perpetual soup that you keep, and you add stuff to it.
Yeah.
Is it a blend of organic stuff like plants and stuff and minerals, or is it just minerals?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I would think that giants would probably be, their culture would probably be really good at preserving things.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Sure.
So yeah,
I like the idea that you can take like a rock, if it's the right kind of rock, maybe it needs like quartz in it, and like just in your bare hand, you could crush it and turn it in, and only your people can do this. Like if a human tried this, it wouldn't work. But you can add it to the soup, and it turns into food that you can eat. Not that they could eat; they couldn't eat it. But there's like this magical component to it. Like you can literally eat rocks. It turns into an ingredient in your soup.
Yeah, I feel like he carries that around. Like maybe he might eat a bowl of whatever they make, but he's gonna add some of that stuff to it. He's like, I brought my own seasoning, sort of thing.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, in that context, if that's your meal, right, and these people would be fascinated by that, because again, kind of like Sir Vanazor, you're like the two elves in the party. There's a barrier between the humans and the elves, because many of these people have either friends or actual family members that have died to the woad elves, specifically the woad elves. But your people are a mystery, so it's a blank slate, and you are super friendly and gregarious, and the kids can play with you, and you're also a hero. All of you are heroes, but no matter how heroic Levelis and Orin are, it's like you'll be trusted but not accepted, if that makes sense. But Ko is definitely being adopted by the group. So they're fascinated by all of this, and they want to try your food. They can't eat it, it's disgusting. Is there something in the Barrowman culture that is like dessert?
I was thinking about this Chef's Table episode I saw of this chef in Oaxaca who makes like a literally a 396-day mole that he just
Oh my
adds
God,
new
yes.
corn to
That's cool.
every
Yeah,
day,
that's what I
and
was
it's
thinking
like
about, yeah.
super aged. And I feel like maybe Ko would have something like that, like something that's of the land. Like, yeah, if he's used to eating quartz, then something like mint might seem very sweet to him. And so maybe it's something that's like preserved mint paste that he's just added to every day for like 10 years and just adds a little bit and lets it go.
That's cool. Every 10 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, and like I've been, making this here, try some of this, whatever, ice cream to him or something. He's like, I started this when my first kid was born 120 years ago.
Meals are wrapping up. Sir Vanazor has told a rousing story. Kids are falling asleep. And Levelis and Sir Vanazor, yeah, you hear these sounds in the forest. Actually, there are lots of sounds in the forest. Ooh, ooh, right? There's all sorts of.
It's just a kookaburra.
Okay, sure. It's an 8-hit die. It sounds like a D&D monster to me.
Wow.
And that's normal. Any of you who have been in it, some of the people are freaked out because they do not live in the forest. They live in the farms. They live in the plains. If there's forests around, they're probably like orchards and stuff. But especially Zoga, like this is his native environment. You're used to all of these sounds. But you also hear these like these high-pitched whistles and these weird clicks.
Do they match any birds that we know of? Birds or beasts? Should I make a nature roll?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wonder if it sounds
I just want to make sure that they're not. I just want to make sure that they're not signals.
Yeah, communicating. Yeah.
Hang on a second.
That's the kind of thing that I do.
Hang on a minute. Stand by. I got a message to send.
I wonder if we can just put the sounds back and confuse them.
Yeah, we just start sending our own signals.
Clicking, whistling, and making kookaburra noises.
Yeah.
What's that one bird? I think it's also from Australia. Is it called the shut up bird?
The one that sounds like it says shut up? I don't know.
There's a bird that I've been hearing all my life
Australian
that I thought was bats because I only ever heard it at night. And it turns out, now I can't remember the name of the bird, but it's called what people think its name, what people think its sound is saying. Killdeer. It's a killdeer because it sounds like it's going killdeer. And I was always like, what the fuck is that? And it turns out every time I've heard that, and usually you only hear it in Southern California, you only hear that bird normally at night, but you can't hear it during the day, but normally at night. And you have to be like out in an open field. So when my friends and I would be like when we were little kids, right? And we would be out on the soccer field at night by the school or whatever, and you would hear this sound. I always thought, what is that thing I only hear at night? Is that a bat's like echolocation? It turns out every time I heard that, it was because my friends and I were near a killdeer nest. And it was the mama killdeer trying to scare us away because they nest in the ground. They take over like squirrel burrows and stuff like that. And all my life I've been hearing killdeer, and I didn't know what the fuck it was. Let's see. Anyway, talk amongst yourselves for a second.
My hometown has
It's cool.
a lot of native lyrebirds. And they're called lyrebirds because a car just started outside my window. It's real loud. They're called lyrebirds because of the shape of their tail is like a lyre, like the instrument, but they also mimic things. And out of my granddad's, maybe, and out of my granddad's block of land, it's because he was like a timber worker for a really long time. So they just mimic the sound of his chainsaw all the time. So if you go out there to camp in the middle of the night, you just hear a chainsaw starting up. It's really scary.
Okay, I did find it.
Australian massacre.
It's called a go-away bird.
A go-away bird? That's cool.
Oh, I.
So what was it?
I don't know if it
Levelis.
says go-away.
Levelis. No,
Apologize for this car. My neighbors don't drive away for a solid like 30 seconds.
Hear it.
We can't hear it.
Oh, hear it.
all.
Okay, great.
So yeah,
My
Lavellis-
chat definitely can, but
Oh, really? That's weird. How come your chat can and we can't? Whatever. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
I don't know.
Fuck was I just talking about? Oh yeah, Lavellis. No, absolutely. These sounds are not birds.
Good. Well,
I'll, having seen Lavellis, obviously, the sounds have piqued her interest. I'm gonna kind of come into the center here and sort of make some conspicuous little just a couple little noises to the other members of the party, kind of calling them over towards me near the campfire.
You said Savannah sort of heard this as well, right? So
Yeah, so Vanasaur and Lavellis have heard it. And it seems like Zoga probably has too.
Well, this is something that I that I would recognize, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So once everyone's within earshot, I'm just going to quietly tell them
Actually,
that
too far away from queer. Is that earshot? There you go.
we've been followed here, and there are eyes out in the forest peering at us.
From what direction?
What is?
Well,
what
basically
have we
all
been
around.
followed by?
Here's the thing: we've been tracked by a band of lizard folk. I know that sound anywhere. They've been spying on us. They're unlikely to attack us tonight, but if we stick around, they absolutely will.
Okay.
Like if we
So it's not the go away bird, it's the fuck you gecko.
Pretty much, yes. We're in. So right now we're in the kind of undisputed territories in between where the Ghoul live and where the orcs live in this wood. So it's kind of just every man for himself out here. You get wandering packs of lizard people that are out here just kind of raiding anything that they can, anyone who goes through the forest. So here's the question.
Any idea how many there are?
Can I that's a question for Matt, I think. Can I do a little a roll to see if I can kind of
I
discern the
forgot to tell
size
everyone
of
before.
this?
Everyone should have had a +1 to their perception check. I forgot. I'm sorry.
There's a way. I apologize. I haven't turned. What I need to do is I need to go into Zoga's character sheet, look at his powers. Which power is it that gives you the fucking aura? Is it combat leader? Yeah. And I just got to copy this and paste it into your. Actually, I could probably do it now, or I'll do it tonight while you guys are talking. Maybe not right this second. But anyway.
Yeah, so there's only a few right now. There are 2 or 3 that are spying on us.
Okay.
And because it's these are just scouts. They're not going to try and ambush us because they know they'll just get smoked.
Okay.
But they're gonna follow us. They could return. They could go get reinforcements, right?
Hey, 2 or 3.
Come back,
Why
but in
don't
greater
we?
numbers.
Why don't we make sure they don't get reinforcements and finish them here?
Well, but surely, others will come looking if they don't come back, right?
Well,
By then we'll be gone.
Well,
yeah, I think Vanazor's right. I think we might be better off if we assault the ambush.
okay.
It's my 2 cents.
Do you sense where they are, Zoga?
Yeah, Zoga can tell where they are.
Yes, I can tell where they are.
What the fuck did I just do? Did I fuck this up?
I don't know.
Sorry. I thought I was adding something to Lavellis' character sheet, but then it looked like, okay, yeah. I've added Elven Perception to your powers, but I don't think it's going to work because I don't think this keyword is right where it says perception. But I'll go look up what the proper grammar is for fantasy rounds. Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we could try and we could run out there right now try and catch these guys before they can go and get reinforcements and come back, or we could, we could basically just continue our rest here overnight, and then
we must face this enemy. Face them head on.
Yes. Well, okay. Just for the sake of argument, our other option is like we could wait until morning, when we're fresh, and maybe try and set up some sort of bait situation where we know these guys are going to try and ambush us. We might be able to ambush the ambush. Sorry, hang on. Forget
They're
what I just said.
most likely to ambush us in the middle of the night, right?
Zoga knows that because Zoga's from this forest. Like, maybe Levelis and Zoga could do it, right? Or maybe Ko could do it because he's really stealthy. That's the thing, is like Zoga and Levelis are forest dwelling creatures, but they're not forest adapted. They have different jobs, right? Levelis is an invoker, Zoga's a war leader. So Zoga in his band, he would have his own scouts that he might be able to send out to go get these lizard folk. And those scouts would be able to move completely silently and stealthily. There's no way you guys, maybe Ko could do it, right? Because Ko can move really stealthily. There's just no way you guys could surprise these scouts. They would just fuck off. They would melt into the forest and you'd never even see them. But the idea of them, what they're going to do is they're going to go report back, and later on you'll get attacked. But that idea of like, now that we know this, maybe we could,
set up a dummy camp.
Well,
Yep.
We could set up a dummy camp, or we could send the people, like split ourselves up so that like when the ambush shows up, we could flank it.
Yep, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh. Never mind.
And like lizard folk are
I am
just
concerned
like dumb as a
about-
bag of hay. Like they probably can't even count as high as there are the number of people that are in this camp.
The Vanasaur is squeezing the handle of his great axe.
So, for example, they're not going to notice that there are 5 fewer in the group as it, makes its way through the forest all unawares, quote unquote.
Even if they're the 5 that don't look at all like the other 20.
Believe me, we all look this. Have you ever seen lizard folk? You know how they all look the same to us? It's the exact same thing the other way around.
I am concerned about the humans getting freaked out, so yeah. Like setting up a dummy camp and stuff, right? That requires like getting their cooperation and involvement, and that's gonna dampen spirits.
We are these human saviors. We must do it again.
Well, the other option is that
the humans assume that you guys are just talking about what watches you guys are going to take, and they're all ready to go to bed.
Good. I mean, we can wait for them to all go to sleep and then sneak off and murder the lizard folk, right?
Well, that apparently not. Like they're. But the thing is, they already have eyes on us. Like if we leave camp to go after them, they're going to recognize it immediately, and they're just going to scramble.
This is basically guerrilla warfare on their turf, so we have to figure out a way to draw them out. We can't go after them because they'll just disappear.
That's
exactly. I mean, Ko might be able to catch. Ko might be able to catch them, but unless he can get to them undetected and kill all of them in one hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
No.
So a bait and switch is our best bet.
I think the bait and switch is our best bet. I mean, maybe we could leave one of us with the party, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Vanazor or Ko, just for like moral support.
I mean, Demelza. I forgot about Demelza. Demelza will she's going to want to be part of your plan. She's like she doesn't consider herself. She's not like the other girls. She doesn't consider herself just another peasant. And
Yeah,
you've seen her fight, and you know that she has adventurer-like abilities. So,
Yes. And Zoga knows that she is sort of like the diplomatic bridge to like these people, because they're not gonna listen to his like tactical babble. And
I think that time has largely passed.
Armor.
Like the people have seen both your heroism and your compassion, and to put a not entirely accurate term onto it, your humanity. So Demelza no longer needs to kind of like. She's spending less and less time walking up to you and saying, "This isn't going to work. These people are going to freak out," right? So yeah.
Good. But I still don't really know how to like I speak common, but I don't really talk the same talk as these people, right? So I would definitely have her looped in on our little brainstorm sesh here.
Yeah, I don't have an icon. Actually, this is the icon I used for her, but unfortunately, this is also somebody else, so I got to fix that later. Whatever.
That's also Gwir Polly, isn't it?
No,
Oh, no, it's not.
Gwir Polly is. I think this lady.
There somewhere.
Yeah. So anyway, I think what we should do.
You notice Gwir Polly, her nictitating eyelid membranes, her lizard eyelid membranes flash as she blinks, and then she looks at you and says, "What? What? You didn't say anything. Shut up." That didn't happen. I'm kidding.
I was just about to kill Gwir Polly.
So, you guys going to take watch?
Yeah, I'll take first watch just in case these lizard people try anything, unexpected tonight. Which I doubt they'll do. But
okay, can you what's this? Edit list. Can you in the party sheet? Can you say I'm on first watch, or do I have to do it?
I think you have.
In the party sheet.
Yeah, so in the upper right, there's a thing called party sheet, and then there are tabs, and one of the tabs says order. And if you click on order, you see.
I cannot do it.
That sucks. Why not?
What's the overall plan? Like, how are we drawing them to us rather than having to go to them?
So tomorrow, we'll pick up camp. We'll start moving.
So you don't think they're going to attack tonight?
No, it's not how they operate. They're going to come back in greater numbers. Like this, they are not like tactically that, like they're basically lizards that can carry swords. Like there's not a whole lot going on upstairs. Like they're not.
So you think that they're going to attack tomorrow or tomorrow night?
Yeah, like as soon as we pack up and start leaving, they're going to be like, oh, they don't even know that we're here. So they're going to go get the rest of their little band, their little raiding party, and they're going to come back thinking that they can just sweep through and just mow everybody down and eat all our horses and faces. But as soon as they, we'll be able to see them coming, and we'll just like jump out of the trees and mess them up.
All right.
Yeah.
Before they even get to the human traveler party.
Okay, so we will use the humans as bait then.
Yes, 100%. But we won't be far away.
It'll be
All right.
fine.
Yeah, well, I remember a time with a giant spider.
So Zoga's going to take first watch. How long is the watch going to be? How long is each watch going to be? You've got 5 people in the party. Only 4 of them need to really sleep. So you could take like, I don't know, you could do a 3-hour watch. You could do 2 3-hour watches, and then you could sleep that would be a total of 9 hours. If that makes sense. Whoa, that's fucking weird. What's going on here?
I don't know what I just did. I did
it's
something
moving.
and I don't know how to undo it.
Did you freeze? Wait, why are you in the?
Undid it.
Oh, I did it.
Yeah,
We're positioning.
I unlocked your
You tried to grab.
tokens.
I
So-
tried to grab somebody else.
Oh my god, you guys. That is what Jesus. Here, I feel bad for Odie. I heard a techno song once. The system is down. Right. So if you split up into two, it's going to need like 3-hour shifts, right? So that actually, I don't know if that makes sense. Whatever. If you have 2 watches, and Oren probably doesn't need to be on any of them because she doesn't need to sleep. Then the only question is, are you on the first watch or the second watch? And Zoga's on first watch. What about you, Sir Vanazor?
I need to sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry, who did you say was on the second watch?
No one yet. Only Zoga's on first watch.
In that case, I will go after Zoga, and then I'll get a nice long sleep till the morning.
Right, so you'll sleep for 6 hours. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not going to worry about it. Lavellis, what watch do you want to be on, first or second?
First.
Okay, so the Co, I think that means you're on second. So
Sounds good.
Zoga and Lavellis take first watch, and Sir Vanazor and Co take second watch.
I'm with you. Sorry. Yeah.
Take my watch up on this rock.
Okay, I'm off to bed then. If I've got a second watch.
Excuse me. Zoga, using the tower, go ahead and roll a d12.
Okay, sorry, hang on just a second. A D12?
Yep.
In the tower.
Okay, that's cool. First watch passes uneventfully. Sir Vanazor, Co, one of you should roll a d12, but not both of you, and you should use the dice tower.
Here, what I'm going to do, Co. Ready?
Mhm. Yeah, you go for it.
Well, 1, 2, 3 is you. 4, 5, 6 is me. Oh, it's me. I got 5. D12, you say. Okay, in a tower.
That was a very dungeon mastery way to deal with stuff. Oh, close, but no tomatoes. Okay. The evening passes uneventfully.
Hey.
Yay! Well rested.
The whistling and clicking. Once all the humans go to bed, and first watch is about 15-20 minutes old, the whistling and clicking stops.
Do they sound like velociraptors? Is that this whistling and clicking?
I don't remember what velociraptors sound like, but that makes sense to me.
Oh.
Because I was like, what sounds kind of scary, but also kind of bird-like.
If I were a better dungeon
That's
master.
the Jurassic Park noise. They do that sort of honky thing.
Well, they do the honky thing.
I beg your pardon? Speaking as a honky. I take offense at that.
Can you demonstrate?
Um,
Sound of your people?
I've got velociraptors on my t-shirt.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you find clothing that has velociraptors on it?
Omar sent it to me this morning. It arrived in the mail. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
Brilliant.
I need to change these lizardmen to velociraptors just to celebrate. Yeah, so the evening passes uneventfully. You folks pack up. People wake up around dawn. Some of the people wake up a little bit before dawn because that's their normal sleeping habit. You pack everything up, and that's the end of the first night.
Oh no. The map.
The map is done because we're done. So you start leading.
Right, see you next week.
You start leading the heroes. You start leading these villagers further south.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that Anne Polly is kind of, as you folks are guiding them, she's sticking with Co and has basically promoted herself to honorary adventurer, and she doesn't want to stick with the humans. She wants to hang out with you. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
I'm walking real close to Queer still. Not ridiculously close, but
That's
close
fine.
enough.
Yeah, she's happy to have. She feels honored that she's got a fucking Dragon Man Knight escort.
I'm chatting with her, and I'm just trying not to be like I'm being suspicious of her, just being noble.
Being very normal.
I'm being very normal.
I'm very normal noble.
I'm gonna talk to Demelza and just let her know that around as the sun is starting to set later,
Right.
that we're gonna kind of disappear, and that she needs to just keep everybody
All right. She says I can do that.
chilled
she-
out and
She was
moving
part of
down
your
the-
she was part of your
down the track.
powwow, right? So she knows about the lizard men.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I can tell the people. I don't want them to worry any more than you do. I can tell them that you're out scouting and keeping them safe.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
Basically true.
Uh,
I think also as we're walking, I'm gonna relay an idea to them that Ko and I were talking about, just to kind of see how they feel about it. So I'm gonna have motion to Lavellis and Zoga for us to walk together. So basically, Ko and I were talking, and you know how there's this giant wardrobe talking about we want to try and flank these lizard men, and, get the drop on them a little bit. So obviously, we want to try and surround them from all sides. So is the idea that the entire party is going to be out of the camp in a way? Because what we were thinking is that maybe 2 of us that can fit inside the wardrobe, post up in there, and then wait, and then that way we'll be on inside too, so they can't move into the camp as well.
Yeah.
I love this plan.
I don't
Hardly
love
in
the
the
idea
wardrobe,
of
yeah.
trying to fight around a bunch of panicking humans, right?
Yeah. So he had suggested that you and I, Lavellis, go into the wardrobe and then jump out.
Because we're small.
I guess so. I mean, I'm looking around now, and I think he has a point, probably, that it might just be you and me who could fit in there.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the 2 of you would also add almost no weight to the wardrobe, so that people would still be able to carry it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we even have to get in now, right? Well, I guess we are being followed, but you see the lizard men are a bit, bugs for brains.
How
They'll-
tall is
they'll-
everybody in their party?
The high elf is only a little bit shorter than humans. The
What?
wood elf.
Okay.
What?
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 Shh.
What did you think?
What is it that makes me so high?
It's all the weed you smoke.
You're a high elf.
That does make sense. I'm short. I'm short in real life. Can I be tall?
Yes. So the high elf
Be
is
tall after the wardrobe plan.
Okay,
the high
yes.
elf is I would say the high elf is human sized, but a little bit taller than average, and thin and willowy. The wood elf is much shorter than human size.
I'm tall in real life. I'm happy to be little.
And Sir Vanazor, Zoga's a big dude, but he's big like humans get big. Sir Vanazor is fully a head taller than any humans. And then Ko is a head taller than that. So Vanazor is 7 feet. Ko is 8 feet. Orin is I would say probably 6'1", right? Which is really tall for a girl, if indeed Orin is a girl.
Well, whatever.
Stand by. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. I don't know why this map went away. I closed it. That was stupid. So you folks come to a small river. You might, depending on your background, you might call it a creek or something. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me.
A crick.
Yeah.
Well, we just go down to the creek.
A
Big fan of
stream.
creeks.
A stream, maybe. It's a big stream or a small river. Actually, it might be a legit river once I see the scale of this.
What is humans doing on here on the combat tracker?
Actually,
Oh, God.
that scale does not look awesome.
We're Oregon trailing right now.
So let me go into the map.
You need to ford the river.
Oh yeah, that's way too big.
God.
It's time. Always ford the river.
I hope everybody packed their 1,000 pounds of bacon and nothing else.
Yes. Well, I spent all my
I
money
brought-
on bullets to hunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just bullets.
Queer has dysentery.
Excuse me.
Oh my god. The cart's broken axle.
So Vanasaur doesn't stay as close to her anymore.
You got a pretty,
It's a snake bite. What do you do? Try to suck out the poison?
I think
Yes.
there's a way to add all these tokens with one click, but I don't remember how to do it.
All of these tokens.
Yeah, like all these villagers, just to add all these people to the map all at once,
Oh.
instead of having to fucking drag and drop them individually. But I don't remember how to do it. Chat is probably trying to tell me how, if indeed there is a way, but I'm not super worried about it. I'll look it up later. Here's the doppelganger. I mean, here's Gwir.
What?
Shh, shh, quiet. You didn't hear that. Arian, Isolt, and Theodric. And then I'm going to put you guys on the map. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to put you guys on the map, and I'm just going to drop you in here in like a cluster, and then you can put yourselves where you want to be. So as you folks move through this fucking bullshit forest, who are you? Do you have a scouting tactic? And if so, what is it? Is it basically the same as yesterday?
that went really well.
But I assume I'm not going this time, right?
No, it's up to you. You can either.
You've been pulled. You're on the
Oh,
bench.
here, you guys. Here, let me share this record with you.
I just feel after that recap at the beginning of this session, I feel as though I was being blamed for some things that weren't my fault.
Look, there's no.
So someone else
you not-
yeah.
As somebody who's been playing, oh, that was annoying. As somebody who's been playing D&D for 30 years, the job of the scout is never pleasant. You get blamed for a lot of shit that's not your fault. I'm going to clear this so we don't have this stuff in chat here.
Pretty map.
It's gorgeous.
I mean,
It's
for
one
real
of the
though, do
things-
we want to try the Ko and Zoga combo?
I mean,
Well, we haven't yet.
Ko's the only one who's like legitimately like stealthy. So anyone who goes with him is going to
Yeah,
be a
But
risk.
maybe Tom will roll better than me.
I think he's probably going to roll just about as well as anyway. So yeah, you guys have forded this first part of the river, and you're preparing to ford the next part. There was a log on the northern part of the river, which made it easy.
I didn't.
What time
Why
is
didn't we
it?
just
Time of
cross
day.
over?
Noon.
Okay.
One of the things I'm going to turn off the grid. One of the things I love about using VTT, this is not unique to Fantasy Grounds by any stretch of the imagination, is I love. Why can't I turn off the grid? Didn't we have this problem the other day?
That's what you love?
Why didn't what didn't I have this? Oh, there we go. That was weird.
There it is.
Why couldn't I do it and then I could do it? Is I love just how many beautiful fucking maps there are online. You know, when I see them, I'm like, oh man, I want to use this. Anyway. And they're actually, the people who make these maps have a very clever way of making them reusable that you folks will see later on.
Oh, cool.
Anyway. So
Well, yeah, I think Ko has proven himself as a exceptionally skilled to be our scout. So, and you can also move amazingly fast, right? So maybe you're our
I'm happy
guy.
to go along.
I have a question.
I'll be responsible. I won't touch any bodies.
All right, just a little bit. What are we trying to do here? We're
Too
trying to
many
move
crime scenes.
across the river.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're not doing anything right now. You are moving across the river. That's just going to happen all by itself. I'm just asking you, as this is, a part of the forest like any other. There happens to be a river here. It's not significant as far as you know. And my question is, if these are where the people are and they're getting ready to continue going up, right? Up is in this context. Up is south. Where are you folks? And do you have a scouting party or a scout?
So I'm gonna hang back, like basically wherever wherever the lizard folk are most likely to come from, or like if there's any more like stuff that comes up from behind us, I want to be back there. And I think Ko's going to be our
The lizard
scout,
folk
solo.
won't attack during the day. So, Ko, you're going to be
And what time of day is it?
noon.
It's like noon.
Okay.
Ko,
Oh, it's noon.
Wow.
I eat
just
his full
Jump
peanut
in the
butter.
river.
I'm just going to grab you, Ko, and put you sufficiently far north, or I should say south,
Oh,
up,
nice.
sufficiently far up to be effective as a scout.
Zoga, what's the relationship between lizard men and water?
They're lizards, right?
This is something I would know off the top of my head.
Absolutely,
I mean,
yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, basically nothing. It's like nothing exceptional. They live near it, but
Cool. So
That's
it's
about
not like they're not like swamp people. They're not like swim speed folk.
They're amphibious.
They're amphibious.
Yep, they have a swim speed, and they can hunt in water or on land.
Okay. Well, I'll put myself on river flank of the humans then.
By the way, Ko, I tossed you up there. You are free to put yourself wherever you want.
Do you want me to make a stealth check?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you are.
And
You notice that the wildlife around here, you are like, even the squirrels and fawns and stuff don't notice you. Like, you're able to get real close to creatures that would go "Ah!" and run if they knew there was a person around. So that you don't know exactly what your role is, but you know you're pretty stealthy.
awesome.
A bit from
So
the
I
start of
could
the
be like a
first
butterfly
Twilight
man.
movie.
I would like the rest of the party who are not Ko. Sorry, Justice. I would like the rest of the party who are not Ko to make a perception check.
In a tower.
Absolutely. I think you should make all your
Okay.
rolls. Unless I ask for a skill challenge, I think you should make all your rolls in the tower. Oh no.
we get a +1.
Oh my
right?
God.
Do we get a +1?
What
Do
do
we
you
get it?
know?
Do we get a
I think
+1?
we.
You do get a +1, but I think it's already a plus. Oh no, it just expired on everyone. So everyone should have one more than what they rolled.
Why did it expire?
No, it just says it expired on the chat. See there?
Maybe because it thinks this is the first round of combat, or I don't know. That's weird. I do see that. I wonder what happened. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a mystery. I
It was
can
there,
I can
and
just
now
add
it's
one.
not.
I can just add one. I can look at the number
Yeah,
and go one
it's not difficult maths.
more. I don't believe so. It's we need one from Zoga.
Here you go.
Jesus Christ!
We're gonna die.
I don't know. That responses that I think that we did quite well.
If you added all your numbers together,
No.
it wouldn't be. I noticed something.
Shut up.
Oh, we rolled that badly?
We're gonna
I
die.
I'm not going to tell you, but yeah, you rolled really badly.
Wow.
My perception's really good though. How's that possible?
Well, 1 plus 6. Actually, your
No,
Yeah,
it's-
what-
my
your perception's 8.
perception's plus
3 plus 8. Actually, it says plus 8. I think
Plus
plus.
I have a +6 on my perception.
Yeah, you rolled a 1.
I certainly have a plus.
I mean,
Oh, did I?
look, I can. Yeah. All right.
Fine, if I rolled a 1.
Yeah, you guys got
Wait a
the.
minute.
I know what you got. It says Orin has +9. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong lines. Orin has +9. Levelis has +8. Servanazor has +6. Zoga has +1. And this is you know what I should do is I should roll for the people. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Come on,
14, 15,
humans.
16, 17,
The
18,
power of
19,
herds.
20, 21. 21.
This is how herd animals work.
Uh-huh.
You only need one of you to notice. Come on.
Come on.
Your cat.
Hooray! Look at all
Wow.
those dice.
All right. So there's definitely some good rolls in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the humans. So here's what happens. a giant shadow blots out the sky for a second.
Oh no.
But it's not immediately obvious what just happened to the rest of you. But some of the humans, in fact, it looks like 5 of the humans, all point up and they say, oh, look, up in the sky, it's a bird. But that's it. They don't say it's a plane, it's Superman. They don't know it's not. They say it's a bird. And it's, hang on a second, it's
Oh, did we regain any spent healing surges overnight?
Oh, yeah, we should have.
yeah, I can give you guys a long rest. Stand by if I haven't already. I think I gave you guys a long rest. There you go. So all of your daily powers should be refreshed. All of your hit points, all your wounds should be cleared. So you should have no, and I think all your healing surges should be recovered. So you're back. You're back to your base starting. All right. So it's initiative.
Okay.
Bounced out of the box, and I'm really annoyed because it was a pretty good roll. Are we doing it in the tower?
You don't need to roll initiative in the tower because you'll be able to see it in the tracker.
Oh, okay.
I'm so upset. I rolled a 14, but it bounced out of the box, so I had to roll again.
If it rolls on the floor, it doesn't count.
I know.
Look at that.
I'm mad about it.
Far away.
Co is pretty far away, unfortunately.
Initiative bonus.
Do I get anything for being super stealthy? Like, do I get like a surprise or anything?
No, this thing doesn't know you're there. That's one nice thing.
Okay.
Did we get initiative for everybody? Oh yeah, it looks like it. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'll give these guys all 1s because they're peasants.
Wow. Well, what's her name?
Demelza. I'm not super worried about Demelza right this second. I can grab her if I can find her again.
What the fuck?
I was thinking of that John Travolta tried to announce Idina Menzel for when he called her
Adele Dazeem.
Yes. Every time I think of Demelza's name, I'm always like, Adele? No. Idina? No.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Wickedly talented.
What a weird way to say it.
Oh, it brings me so much joy.
The whole delivery was so good.
This sucks.
He felt so
Incredible.
bad
Hang on
after.
a second. Okay. Co. First round. Excuse me.
Right. Do I see anything?
No, but you hear the people crying out in fear. It's kind of hard to make out what they're saying, but the people are like freaking out, screaming. The people are screaming.
And let's see. 1, 2,
Sometimes-
3, 4.
Sometimes being the scout means you get the ochre jelly before everybody else does. Sometimes it means you're far away when the bad stuff happens.
All right. And so charge, I do another 6,
I
right?
didn't
My same
realize where
movement.
you were.
I think I'm just using my action, right, to do this twice.
Yeah. Well, you're using your action to do it once, and then your movement to do another one. Yeah.
And
So you're
then I'd
doing
like
double
to
move.
use my power for the Seamer's wings, which is going to mean I make 2 athletics checks to see how
Sweet.
far I can jump.
Awesome.
I
And you
think
divide
that
the
we
result
decided.
by 5, and yeah, go ahead.
I think we said, yeah. I have a thing that I can click here that's gonna add that to me. Yeah. So we'll do this twice here.
Yep, just make 2 athletics checks. Now add the. You have to turn on the power thing again because it only works for your next
Yeah.
check. There you go. You got it. Holy shit! You rolled a 6 and then you rolled
Wow.
a 20. So 36 divided by 5 is 7. So you jump another 7. That's pretty cool.
That's
So I
great.
just picture this, like he just takes a running step and he hears maybe Anne's voice in the crowd and just starts
Nice.
going through the branches and
Is
comes
that-
out with like these red leaves falling behind him.
Did you move an extra 7 after once you rolled your athletics? Because it looked like you only moved like 2 or 3.
I'm pretty sure I counted at least 6.
Okay,
but
no
I feel
problem.
like I got
No problem. And you were kind of okay. Well, I mean, okay, yeah.
God, 7 squares. That's like 35 feet. Can you imagine seeing somebody jump
Yeah.
35 feet?
Well, and also
That's
he
terrifying.
ran
8-foot
like
person.
60 feet before that, and then went rah, and fucking long jumped his ass. Yeah.
What's like the longest record?
100.
for the longest
It's about 100 feet, a little less.
What
The long jump
I
record.
think I
is
did
right
19.
in real world?
Oh.
No.
there. All right. Let me look at this.
Sorry.
thing. Got it. So
Okay.
hang on a second. I turn the grid on because I gotta measure. Actually, I don't need to turn the grid on. Can't I measure something? Yes.
You can.
Oh,
control
awesome.
level.
Great. That's cool. Unfortunately, you folks can see that.
What can we see?
Ominous black arrow.
Not like.
All
Hey.
right.
What the fuck? Why am I circled?
What do you mean circled?
I see a circle around myself. But never mind, because I clicked myself.
I clicked on myself. Why do I have a circle around me?
It's me.
Servanazor.
Okay, so all these humans are looking up in the air.
Yes, and they're pointing in a certain direction. They're pointing what would be to the east because this map is
Oh, I
upside
see
down.
it.
Oh shoot! Oh
That-
shoot!
Is that a
Oh.
is that a manticle?
Uh,
Because in that case, I'll do what Wes did. I'll throw my torch in the air, try and shoot an arrow at it, and then run.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he tried to throw his torch in the air, shoot an arrow at it, and then grab the torch because he couldn't
Yes,
do
that
both.
was
He couldn't do both. And
The most ridiculous athletics check ever.
I gave him a shot. I was like, well, that's stupid, but yeah, go for it. And he failed miserably.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his.
Remember...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was thinking when we fought that mana court. Am I misremembering, or did it have a human butt? So when it turned away, we just saw a human butt as it fled into the night.
I think because it had a human face, manticores have a human face. I think somebody in the party was like, does that mean it has a human butt? And I was like, sure, yeah. It's got a naked human butt. And it moons you when it runs away.
What are you dealing with?
Just a horrible.
So
that-
Servanazor, here's the problem,
I see it,
Servanazor.
yeah?
You're an you can absolutely see it. I would say
Okay, good.
probably you and Zoga can both see it. Levelis and Orin are, unfortunately, they can't see it yet. The people are pointing, but there's trees and this thing's in the air, right? It's not on the ground. It's high up. It's like 50 feet up.
Yeah.
So here's the challenge. This thing, it's probably going to grab a person. Do you have anything you could do to stop it?
Let me see. Do I?
Here's what you need, because I know how this game works, and what you need is an ability that will knock something prone. And it would be nice if it was ranged, which probably isn't Servanazor. It might be Levelis, but Levelis can't even see this thing
Yeah.
yet.
I don't think I have.
I don't know if I have
anything
anything
like
that knocks prone. Give me a minute. I'm looking. I'm looking.
Because that's an excellent way to get something in the air down where you can attack it, is you knock it prone and it falls to the ground. Or if you could,
Yeah, I don't
if you have anything that,
do you have anything that
what about, do you have anything that restrains? Like those either. Do you have any special ability that has both range and it will restrain them, grapple them, whatever?
I've got dazed. I've got slowed.
No, I don't think I do, you know. Dragon Remote.
I think I've only got dazed and slowed.
All right, Servanazor, make this is a very slim chance, but anything's possible, and you can you don't have to roll this in tower. Make a, let me see your character here. because you can see it, and both you and Zoga have and actually so does Orin, but Orin can't see it yet. You guys are experienced tacticians. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check to see, can Sir Vanazor accurately detect which human this griffin is going to try to grab based on its angle.
Okay.
Like, imagine like a hawk diving, and you know.
Oh, it was on 18 for a second.
It was. Nope. This is not easy to do. Oh.
Ooh.
So
I have a
now,
question. Am
yes.
I like? I'm like here too. Am I able
Yep.
to do anything?
nope. Unfortunately, the way I'm running this battle, because you guys don't exactly have surprise. Normally this would be a surprise issue, but the people alerted you to the fact. So you guys are not surprised because there were enough people making enough perception checks that some of them detected the presence of this creature. So you're not surprised, but you guys, some of you rolled really badly on your perception checks, so you can't see it. You don't know it's there yet. Sir Vanazor and Zoga act before this creature, so I'm giving them the chance to do something about it.
I see. Okay.
So technically, no one should have a chance to do anything about it, but that would be very poor sportsmanship on my part. So I'm giving the party an opportunity here to try to do something and save some of these people, because this griffin's just going to go chomp. But the griffin doesn't know the difference between. There's a small chance it's going to try to grab one of you guys. So let's all see. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's see if this works. Actually, can I just hit F2? Yes. Okay. So who is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Okay. Where are you? Stand by. Oh, interesting. So, Zoga.
Yes.
Oh, this sucks, dude. I'm sorry. But it's random. Actually, that doesn't make a lot of sense. You see this woman here?
Yes.
Who's kind of separated from the others?
Mm-hmm.
It sort of looks like the griffin's going toward that person.
Yep.
So if you could get
Now-
over to her, you might be able to. Yes, go ahead, Sir Vanazor.
Oh, well,
Oh, yes.
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
technically it was my go.
It
I
is
know
still
I
your.
failed
It is still your turn, and you haven't done anything
my
yet.
perception check.
So-
But is
Go ahead.
Zoga able to like
It's up to Zoga. Talking.
point out to
Talking
me
takes no time.
That's like that thing's targeting.
The maxim of the law is talking takes no time.
Yeah, I shout to Vanazor and, like, point at her,
Mab and
Right.
Polly. It's actually Gwir Polly's mom.
Oh, and in that case,
It's Anne Polly's grandma.
Well, and
Vanessa-
so she's right over like Vanazor's shoulder from my perspective.
Yeah.
So like, and she's out there in the middle of this, like she's kind of in the middle of her own little clearing right there.
Yep.
Like there's no one really around her. So I assume it's pretty obvious that I can just be like, man, get to her.
Vanessa sprints over. You said this thing is how high in the air?
50 feet.
Let's see.
10 square. It's 10 squares away. It's 10. Well, actually, yeah, it's 10 squares away.
Oh shit! My range on my javelin's only 10.
Oh, you
10
could-
squares.
You could ready an
10
action.
not feet.
You could ready an action
Yeah.
and attack it when it comes to grab Mabs and Polly.
Ooh. Shall I just attack?
Oh, Polly family.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
If you throw
I
a
ran in
javelin,
front.
all you're going to do is hurt this griffin and it's going to ignore you. But you could try to interrupt its grab by attacking it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ready an action then. So,
Okay? Just that's.
Yep.
I'm
I
just.
don't know how if I have to do something on fantasy.
No, don't worry. I know what to do.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened there, but I'm gonna
But
just.
I'll run in front. I'll run in front and protect Madam Paulie. Ah.
Hang on a second. Like what I'll do is I'll move this person to there. There we go. Okay, that's Sir Vanazor's turn. So now Orin unfortunately, Orin, this griffin is going to go before you. But it is now Zoga's turn.
All right. Is readying an action?
It uses your standard action. Yeah. You give up your standard action and you create a
Okay.
trigger and you say, when this trigger happens, I'm going to do this, my standard action.
All right. Well, as Justice likes to say, you gotta use it or lose it. So 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5. 1, 2, and then. So yeah, I'm gonna position myself also adjacent to Mabin and Polly. And use my action point to ready my
okay.
Warlord's favor attack.
Okay.
There we go. Rah.
So it is now the Griffin's turn. And it swoops down.
Just get someone else.
And
Yeah.
it's basically like here. Can you see it, by the way? Can you see me moving
Yeah,
around?
kind of. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going
See, yeah.
to put it here, but that's not where it
Okay.
is. It's above you guys, right? Because we
Gotcha.
don't have a third dimension here.
How
And,
high above?
well, right now it is adjacent to all three of these people. So it's technically like 5 feet up, right?
Okay.
And now first Servanazor's ready to action triggers, so you can attack the Griffin.
Okay, so let me. Did I target?
Yep.
Griffin. Yeah. Okay, good. I am going to hit it with my.
Anything you could do that would daze it, that's daze it, slow it. Well,
I'm on it. I'm on it.
but you're
I'm
not gonna
trying.
you're not gonna act fast enough, Lavellis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything like that, you know.
Well,
Dinosaur.
you know.
No.
That's the nature of this kind of encounter, is that the Griffin is.
Nope.
It can't split its movement though, right?
I'm going to try and hit it with my Howling Strike. Well, that won't do very good. Yeah, I don't want this thing to attack. Well,
It can't split, move, and fire, but it has other special abilities that grant it movement.
Hmm.
You missed.
yeah, I missed. Yeah. Do I spend my action point? Just one Griffin, right?
Currently,
Yes, sorry.
yeah.
I hate this thing. I'm going to get it this time.
Oh no,
I hate dice.
no one likes dice.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's it.
Zoga.
I swing wildly with my great axe, pathetically in the air. This
Zoga, what are you going to
griffin
do?
Stealthily dodges me.
Like, seeing that Vanazor's attack missed, I'm gonna try and like basically just shove Mabin Polly to the ground
Whoa.
and like stand
Holy shit.
like basically. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like get the Griffin to just grab me instead.
Fuck. Okay. All right. All right. Well, you can do that. That's not even a thing you need to like. Go ahead and stand in her place. You shove her to the ground. And by the way, she is already inclined. She is already predisposed to a cower in terror. So she doesn't take a lot of work. And now the Griffin goes. All right. Well, this is really interesting. So the Griffin's gonna target Zoga. It was going to be really easy for this creature to grab a normal human. But now that there's adventure here, things might be a little bit harder. And
Yeah, come at me, bro.
let's see what happens.
Zoga must be underneath Madame Paulie.
Here we go. This roll right here has the potential to radically alter this campaign. Oh no. Okay. So the Griffin grabs Zoga and then uses its rabid charger ability. And the Griffin and Zoga. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on a minute. I got to measure this because they're half squares, and the half squares are fucking with me. But I can just do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the griffin and Zoga.
Wait, how do you fuck off so fast?
He's a fucking griffin. What do you mean? How do you fuck off so fast?
Did he? He moved and then he attacked and then he moved.
Yep, he has a special ability.
Damn it!
He's not a normal bird. He's a monster. So
Shitbird.
he's a
Do I
shitbird.
get to?
Yeah?
Do I get to attack it as well since I had a held action?
You used your held action to knock down Mabd and Polly and move.
Okay.
That's what allowed you to act when it wasn't your turn. Let me think for a second.
Oh, gotcha.
And then there's no like you'll be able, if you want to, you'll be able to like try to wrestle yourself out of this thing. On your next attack, you'll be able to try to get out from underneath this thing. How strong is it? Whoa, it's real strong. Anyway. So that was the griffin. The griffin has Zoga. The griffin is 50 feet in the air. Lavelis.
Hi. There's only one party member I know who has the ability to fly, and that's Madame Crisco.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to summon an
Okay, so
angel
now
of
let me
fire.
grab my angel of fire and put him on the. To put him on.
Yeah. So because the griffin is 50 feet up, I can summon the angel. It's ranged within 5 squares, so I would like to summon it the top of that range.
Look at that! It has the same initiative as you. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a coincidence or if it knows something I don't. So we're
Oh, P.S. I think it might have more hit points than it used to now, but we'll
that's
put that
cool.
when we come to it.
What should it
Also
have?
wounded for some reason.
It should have my bloodied count. So because I leveled up, it's got 15 hit points now.
That's interesting. Why does it think it has? Oh, okay, yeah, 15. Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
So where do you? Because I don't think you can move it. I can. Where do you want to put it?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to calculate whether it can reach 50 feet because I can cast it within 5 squares of me,
So it's
and then
20
it has a movement, and then it
Right.
has a fly speed of 6.
Yep, it can get there with
So-
one. It can get there as long as it would have 1 square left over because you can. So it's 10 squares away, so you can summon it 5 squares away. It can move 6. That's enough.
Sweet. I mean, if possible, I would love to summon it just in front of or send it just in front of the griffin.
I mean, you can't really
Great,
block its
flame
way.
on.
You can't really block it, right? Because it's 3-dimensional
No,
space.
but it just feels
But, yeah.
it feels appropriate.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So a giant flaming.
Pulse.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Flame on. And then I'm going to. Sorry, Zoga. But the Angel of Fire is going to use its standard action, which is its little explodey thing that it does. So let me see. Wisdom v reflex. I need to target the thing. Ah! Sorry. Laptop screen. You know how it is. Click me. Target the griffin. I think I'm going to click Zoga. Have I targeted the griffin or Zoga?
You have targeted the griffon.
Griffin. Great. Excellent.
Griffon!
Oh, what's going on here?
I love Madame Crisco. Cool. And then I'm going to click this button.
Whoa! Oh!
Why did it do that?
That was a 19.
No way. No way.
It bounced on that 18 like
It was a
4 times and then just went whoosh.
Nonsense. That was a 19.
No,
That is
19. Yep.
absurd.
Yep.
These are weighted dice.
Yeah, I know.
That is
I forgot
absurd.
that. I forgot to turn off the "don't let the players roll above a 3 all night" option.
The
No, no.
physics of that dice made no sense. It was like bouncy, bouncy, 18, 18, 18, 3.
Yep. Well, yeah.
that-
I grabbed it. I grabbed
right.
it and turned it at the last second.
That's so cruel. Okay, well, I mean, it is what it is. On the bright side, Madame Crisco also has an opportunity attack.
Oren.
Click my button. Whoops.
Whenever
Hey.
that griffin left the range of Banazor or was about to, wouldn't he have gotten a whack at it again for
Yeah.
opportunity attack?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
A good thing if you
Wouldn't that
if you remembered that.
Potentially interrupted.
well, I didn't remember that.
Um,
A bit late in the day now, isn't it?
I mean, you can go ahead and do damage to it, but you're not going to interrupt what it did, unless your opportunity attack can in some way hinder its movement, or knock it prone or denied actions.
Opportunity attack's just a great axe, right?
Just a regular everyday. Unless you have some special ability that says I can do this as my opportunity attack. Some classes have that.
Just roll damage.
No, you got attack. You got to target and attack. It's not free.
Okay,
It's not free damage.
I'm still targeted, I guess.
Yep, you still have it targeted. Look at that. You can hit. I don't know what everybody else's problem is.
Oh wow. There's a
You can
good
roll
old.
3.
I mean, +5, 8. Thanks, Anna.
There's a couple of feathers now, very large feathers, laying on the ground at your feet. Oren,
So
the part of Lars will be played by Anna tonight. Sorry, Lars is normally the person that says, hey, don't forget you got an opportunity to attack. Hey, don't forget if you move over here, you get this. Go ahead.
So, where's Lars at? So right now the griffin is not only like 13 squares away, but then also 10 squares up.
No, because diagonals count as 1. Remember that D&D is officially non-Euclidean. So the Pythagorean theorem doesn't apply. If he's X out and Y up, it's always whichever of those two numbers is bigger. So if he's 10 up and 13 out, then he's 13 away. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's whichever's shorter. I think it's whichever's shorter. No, it's whichever's longer. So if he's 13 squares away from you, then he's 13 away and you don't have to worry about up or down.
Okay, so like if I could move 13,
Yeah.
then I could just get to the griffin. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean I'm talking about like if you had a ranged attack. I apologize. If you're trying to get into melee, there's no way to do it. He's 10 squares up.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out because I was like, wait a minute.
I thought I thought you were talking about like calculating range for an attack.
What I was trying to figure out is if I could try to do this. It's not much. Because I've got phased up, so I was trying to figure out if I could like run and then do a jump with an athletics check. Use phased up to try to get up on top of the griffin. Actually.
Anna,
Whoa!
are you going to try and fucking mount that griffin and like force it to the ground?
Freaking do it!
Yes, I want to.
Fuck.
And then you'll have a griffin
I don't know how to do the
steed.
math. I don't know how to do the math.
what's
If I like sit here like
What's the range on your phase step?
phased up is teleport up to 5 squares. So I was gonna do the thing where it's like
You're gonna have to use your action point.
You use both actions,
Yep.
right?
You're gonna have to use your move is like 6, correct?
Yeah. So I was like, can I do the thing
6
where,
and
like, I
5
move
is
my
11.
6 and then I. But the other thing is though, is if I move 2, I can do a jump.
I'm pretty
And
sure
that
you
way
can do
I
this.
do
You
the
might have to use your
athletics
action
check.
point, but I'm pretty sure you can do this. Hang on a minute. Let me just draw a diagram here for my own.
Okay.
Because the nice thing about the fact that 4th and 5th edition are non-Euclidean is that like altitude actually does not matter, like except for melee. Obviously, that's the thing you're trying to break. So if this is 13, so you can just imagine the whole thing on its side. Rather, if this is 13 and that's 10, and this is you and this is the griffin. Sorry, I'm drawing something here. Then if you moved 6. Right, so 6 from 13 is 7. Right, so you're here, and this is 7. Yeah, I think it's the shorter of the two numbers. No, I'm wrong. I don't know. Fuck, I can't figure it out right now. It's 11:30 at night.
I know.
I'll know the answer tomorrow morning. I think that if it was 7 and 10, right, 7 over and 10 up, then getting here is, Wait a minute.
Don't put any more flying monsters in the game.
No, shut up.
Right.
Anytime a flying monster shows up, I'm like, God damn it. Nah,
Right. Dinosaur's a dragon, right? He can fly.
you can't.
Yeah, it's
If-
the
if
longer.
Orin
It's the
overheard you
it's
say that, that's
it's the
exactly-
longer. It's the longer. of the
Lovelis
two.
has really big ears. She can fly, right?
It's always the
I
longer
believe
of the
so.
two
Yeah.
numbers. So even if he's 10 up, and he is 10 up, even if you were only 7 away on the ground, he's still 10 squares away because he's 10 up. So if you moved, you would have to move your 6 and then 6 more with your regular. So you have to use your standard action to move, and then use your move action move, and then he would be 1 over and 10 up. Well, actually, there's got to be a way to do this. He's only 10. He's 13 away. He's only 13 away. Yeah, you'd have to use your 6 and 6, and then that's it. If you did 6 and 6, move, standard action, and then action point, your action point will get you into your. You can use your action point to phase step, and you will appear on the griffin.
On the griffin.
Yep.
Whoa.
And I mean, I'd probably ask you to make an athletics check to grab onto it. Like, you're not going to have a problem getting to I'm on the griffin, but there's going to be a skill check to can I hang on?
I believe in you.
This is cool.
How good it'll be badass. It's over the water anyway. What's gonna happen if you fall?
That was the
You're
other thing.
fine,
I was like,
that's-
if I'm not for some reason able to like make it far enough, or like here's the other thing. It's like if I slip off the griffin,
Yep.
then what I would like to do is make a athletics check to try to grab
Yep.
to grab Zoga.
I
on
think
the
it's
way
I think it's
down,
better than
hopes
that, Oren.
Maybe we could like weigh him
I
down.
think it's better than that. I think if you fail to land on the griffin and grab hold, then when you fall, you have a chance to grab Zoga, and Zoga has a chance to grab you.
Yeah.
I love this plan. I'm such a fan of it.
Okay, so
This is beauty.
I'm basically gonna move my 12, and then we're just gonna like just do the blah blah blah. You move, double your movement, use an action point, use phase step. Now you're on top of the griffin. Now do the athletics
Yeah.
check. Is that how it's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, there might be a more efficient way to do what I'm suggesting, but off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. And so my inclination is just to make a ruling on this, which I just did, and we'll look it up later and see if there was a better way to do this.
Okay.
Okay, so you all see Oren. Can you describe again what your face step looks like, Oren?
Oh yeah, phase step.
Doesn't have to be consistent with the last time,
it
as long as it's
sounds-
cool. Because I don't remember what it was last time.
Last time it was like a candle because we were it was candleish because we were like in a we're in a tavern and stuff
Right,
like that.
yeah.
I don't want to I kind of want it to be like almost you can't really tell, but now that we're kind of like out in the open,
Mhm.
and obviously this is like a pretty dire circumstance, I think it's gonna look a lot more like how it probably would have, which is I think kind of tying back into like the bit of like metaphysical stuff is that like she pops out of thin air, but it kind of warps the air around it to look like you're looking through like almost like a fisheye lens, but reversed, like it's like pulled in. And then whenever she pops out of the air, it expands it like an actual fisheye lens, and then she drops down.
That's cool. Anna, would you do me a favor?
Yeah,
Would you join me in the secret D&D 4E chat channel?
we're gonna break it,
Oh my god.
but yes, I'll
Okay.
join you.
Anna?
Yeah.
So when Oren, this is an incredibly fucking bold and heroic plan. When Oren dashes across the ground, keeping line of sight on the griffin, sure-footed, you're not looking at the ground, but you're an elf, you don't trip, you don't fall, and it's kind of like sneezing, but on purpose, right? And you
Uh-huh.
you activate your phase step, and you appear in the air. But the ground below you is, and you can see there's a river below you, and you can the river you expected to be there, and there is something else below you where you expected the griffin to be, but everything is cast in shadow. The trees are casting these very long shadows, and weirdly, the shadows all go in different directions. Like there's not only one source of light. The trees are dark. The land is dark. It's not nighttime. It's dusk here. And below you is not a griffin. It's a flock of ravens. And
Oh my god.
to the, off or around where on the other bank of the river, there is a figure who's kneeling down at the water, and something about your presence here alerts this figure, and they stand up, and you get you can see what looks like an elf with a cloak on, and the cloak is obscuring their face so that light, you only see like half of their features. The cloak covers the rest, and they make like direct eye contact with you, and they have this strange puzzled look on their face, and then you land on the griffin and you're back in the real world.
Whoa.
Anyway, let's go back to the regular chat.
Can I ask any questions, or are we just gonna go?
I mean,
I guess I don't really have any questions to ask. I'm just stunned.
So, I mean, you any questions you might have are going to be Anna asking what Oren remembers, right?
Yeah,
and we can do
right.
that in the regular everyday chat, or we can do that with whispers or whatever. So
Okay.
I'll see you with the group.
Yep, that sounds good.
Anyway, everything's fine.
Yeah, like,
How are
imagine
you guys?
His
So
legs,
tall.
his legs are dangling. You just grab onto his legs and pull him off.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull him
You're
off.
also on the other side of the river,
That's
so like
disgusting.
you have extra opportunities to intercept that we
You
don't
know,
have.
we're having
I
our
could
own
climb a
private
tree. Oh, I should climb a tree.
Okay.
Oren, you want to make a athletics check?
Do it, Oren.
Yay!
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oren.
Yay!
Oh, huge!
Thank goodness.
Huge! Tom's not
Fuck
here.
yeah.
So Oren
I've got that thing in a headlock.
lands on this griffin, and miraculously, like, this is one of the coolest things I've seen in D&D. Oren like wraps her her sword arm around the griffin's neck. On her other arm is grabbing onto one of the wings, pulling it back. It's first of all, now it's overburdened and it no longer has control over both of its wings. It's going to auger in. It's going to hit the ground. It may be able to use its wings to kind of soften the blow. But otherwise, it's not going to make it.
Yes! Yay!
Oh, cool.
Oh!
And
Burdened!
and I would like to end it here and finish this fight
When
tomorrow.
when you say it doesn't make it, it's like, do we drown it in the river?
It's going to land. I mean, the river's not that deep. I mean, you can like,
It's deep enough.
you're going to have
I was
to.
being hopeful.
I would say
Some
as
people have
long as
drowned in pools.
as long as Oren is on this thing's back, it's not going to be able to take off, because even though it could take off with a rider, she's just not going to let it use its wings.
So
Nice.
how does
It's
Oren
heavy,
put
you
all
can't
of that
think
stuff
about it.
into like grappling, and it's coming through, and I'm just so pleased.
I mean, that is fucking cool. But
That's
I think
so
that's
sick.
like the most dramatic thing that's going to happen tonight, probably, because now you're basically just going to pummel the shit out of this thing, and
Yeah.
and so I think that would be a fun way to start tomorrow, rather than kind of tediously chop down this thing's hit points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Fair
gives
enough.
it'll give
Super
Ko a
cool.
chance to get in here.
Whoa.
I'm just watching from the distance. Like, I see Zoga getting pulled up. I see Madame Crisco flying up there, and then I see Oren teleporting.
That's fucking
and
cool.
just Vanasaur swinging away wildly at thin air.
There's like an old woman cowers next to you, and you're just
Yeah. Don't worry, I will save you.
well, you're probably
you
pretty happy.
doing?
Like Servanzor's probably pretty happy that no innocent people got hurt.
Yeah, true. But I just missed so badly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Man,
well,
how heroic was Zoga as well? Just like leaping in and taking that griffin bullet.
that's fucking cool as shit.
seriously,
Like,
so
it's
heroic.
Like, there is a
Oh
whole
my
other
God.
encounter that I don't think you guys have to worry about now, which is what happens when this griffin kidnaps an innocent person and flies it back to its nest with its mate, and you guys have to go rescue it. And I was like, holy fuck, are they going to have to go rescue Zoga from two griffins? I'm like, I
Oh my God.
had not thought about that. I had not considered the fact
Nice.
that one of the players might intercede and the griffin might grab a Zoga and fly back to its mate and go, here, look what I found. Eat this.
Right. That would have been a disaster.
Well, it would have been cool
Zoga.
because Zoga would have had like, what do I do? Do I try to take on 2 griffins by myself? Or do I play dead and hope my friends come find me?
What
Anyway.
if they think he's like a baby bird?
And try to feed it? No.
Just feed him.
They
Just
raise
vomit
me
into
as
his
one of
mouth.
their own.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
You learn to
Yeah.
fly.
Normally I don't pull back the curtain and tell you guys what might have happened, but I think that is so cool. And if you didn't know about what might have happened later, you wouldn't know how cool what Zoga did was.
Dude, it was definitely pretty awesome. I was like, holy shit, Zoga's gone.
Anna, just so that you know, Anna, my chat are like chanting for you to tame the griffin and keep it as your mount.
That would be pretty amazing. You know, actually, Nasa, who's a goal in one of our previous campaigns, she has a little figurine
Yeah.
that it's like a Pokemon. When she throws it, it turns into a griffin that she can ride. Or I think it's
That's
just
the
like a
dream.
companion pet.
Yeah, it's one of the classic D&D treasure. It's one of the obsidian.
Green of Wonders.
Yeah, it's one of the
Power?
wondrous. Yeah,
Yeah.
figurine of wondrous power.
Oh.
Yep. That's been
Those
in the
are
game.
dope.
That's been in the game since at least like the 1979 edition.
Griffin
If not the
chew, I
1970s.
choose you.
It's I have to think about it. Like I don't know if it's possible to. These are not domesticated creatures. These are wild animals. So I don't think you can really tame it. You might be able to, like, if you had an egg, you might be able to raise one. Like the Hawk Riders, breed their own griffin-sized giant hawks that they ride. But those are bred for riding. These are
Yeah,
these are
don't they
wild
say
creatures.
like foxes like can't be domesticated? Like you can maybe
You can domesticate foxes.
tame
It
and
just takes
no,
generations.
I think they say that. Yeah, well, no, that's the thing though. I was reading a thing that was suggesting that you can tame them if you've like raised them from birth, but even over generations, they don't naturally.
No, there's a famous.
They don't tend towards domesticity.
There's a
but-
famous.
I mean, what I was reading might be wrong, but
You can look it up. There's a famous experiment that this guy's been running for like 70 years or something. He's Russian, and he has his own. He's raised this population of foxes. Maybe it's wolves. It might be wolves.
It's foxes.
Maybe. Is it
Their
foxes?
Ears, their ears become rounded,
Yeah.
and their behaviors and stuff actually change. It's like something with their ears and their tails or
Yep.
something. Like
That-
they actually physically change.
Yep. Because the traits, the domestic traits start to express themselves because they're inbred, and so it's taken him literally decades, but he has a population of quote unquote tame domesticated foxes. So it can be done. Anyway, this is a good stopping point. I don't know when we're going to play next.
Well, earlier you were like, "This will be a great point when we come back and play tomorrow."
Yeah, you said tomorrow. Let's do tomorrow.
I mean, my schedule actually.
No,
You
tomorrow you
do
can't
tomorrow.
do
No, tomorrow is movie night.
Damn it.
Tomorrow's
God,
movie
OD,
night.
just
But
because
yeah,
you don't show up doesn't mean that we
I
can't show up.
I didn't say it. Colville said it. He said when we
The
come
notional,
back
the
tomorrow.
notional
Repeated it.
tomorrow, not the literal tomorrow. The notional tomorrow.
I gotta film and edit a thing tomorrow anyway.
No,
I mean, if no one wants to come by for movie night tomorrow and it's a bust, then yeah, we'll play. But I have a movie we've chosen and it's important to me.
I want to watch the movie. Everybody's back.
Not everybody's back, I don't think, but yeah, I think Liz and Chris are my friends. And I
Oh,
like them.
Liz and them aren't back.
I don't think so. I think they're still in whatever fucking Midwestern state. they're in.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
So
Gross.
I still, even though
Well, thank you
I
for
still had a
running.
great time tonight, by the way. I thought this was fucking cool. And I can't wait to see what happens
Yeah,
next.
neat.
It was awesome getting to just talk about like character and ancestry stuff too, just for like a little while. That was like very nice and like chill.
Well,
Yeah, that was cool.
how people prepare and eat food is a highly ritualized thing that says a lot about their culture. And so I figured this is the first night you guys are camping together. This is a great opportunity to kind of exchange some culture with the humans and each other and us, the viewer. And I like handing that stuff over to you folks, and you tell me how this works. It was a lot of fun,
Yeah, it was.
at least for me.
Thanks again for setting it up.
I just ate all the humans' food.
Yeah.
All their food's gone.
Yeah, right. But just let it fell
They're
asleep.
trying to be polite, but they're too polite to say like, "Hey, that's enough."
Dinosaur. Can you just like?
Yeah, they offer you. That's a good point, by the way. They offer you their best stuff. Do you eat it?
No, I did say when you said that.
Okay.
I
I was
don't.
saying.
I do not take it all.
Okay, cool.
I'm very grateful, but no, you should.
It was very noble.
You
Oh,
should
good.
also eat this.
Yeah, you're a hero.